Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to round 7 of our ARCA series here in NASCAR 25. Yes, we return this weekend for the ARCA 200 at North Wilkesboro Speedway, and I must admit, I'm very excited to be coming to this venue. Now, for those of you that may not be aware or are mainly Formula 1 fans, North Wilkesboro was one of the original NASCAR circuits back when the series began in 1949. It was on the calendar non-stop until I believe 1989 and then was dropped from the schedule to rather a lot of disappointment from NASCAR fans. To try and put it in F1 terms, it would be suddenly now if Silverstone was replaced by a track in the Middle East. That was basically what happened with this venue, but thanks to Dale Earnhardt Jr. And quite a few other people in and around, obviously, the NASCAR world, North Wilkesboro is back, and I cannot wait to drive here. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live yesterday from Kansas, it was actually a really exciting race. A late race caution meant that we were the only driver on fresh tyres trying to carve our way back through the pack, and we did pretty well, actually. It was a gamble that paid off for us because we ended up finishing in, I believe, 9th spot that weekend. It still means, though, that William Sawalich leading the championship now 29 points clear of Brendan Queen. Isabella Robusto and Andy Jankowiak, maybe, are tied now for 3rd spot there, just ahead of Tyler Reif and ourselves. As yeah, we've not had the best average finish so far this campaign. 11.8 is actually worse than LeVar Scott just behind us. But we are definitely building up some momentum and bringing more and more performance to the team. So to help with that, we're going to buy some all-new parts ready for the car as well this weekend. Now, we've already got, obviously, a level 5 body. We've got a level 5 chassis as well. But I want to try and get a level 5 engine, a 6.5-litre V8 motor for $10,300. And we're going to install that part now. And then last but not least as well, we want a Premier Racing Parts suspension upgrade as well on the car. So now we have basically got the best ARCA car that we can possibly build. And hopefully, of course, we can continue, obviously, trying to move our way up towards the front of the championship order. I don't believe we've got too much else, though, to sort out before this weekend, so we're just going to see what John Stockton recommends. So you can see now, yeah, 400 performance points on this machine as well. And obviously, if we can win at North Wilkesboro, then maybe we can obviously up the AI a little bit more as well then. Like I said, I don't think I've ever driven this venue, so I'm really excited. We are almost level 2 as well with our reputation. But of course, we still need to try and get to 25k if I want to compete in the Craftsman Truck Series next season. I don't know as well whether I'll have to buy a Craftsman truck ready for that season as well. So I guess only time will tell. But let's just see if we can try and bag another top 10 here. Well, heading out then for our very first laps of North Wilkesboro. Of course, this is a proper kind of short track as well, and is often used to be a real race of attrition in the NASCAR Cup Series. So yeah, we'll wait and see as to how we get on today. Obviously, it's nothing like Bristol, it's nothing like Martinsville, but it's kind of a weird middle ground between them, but it's also quite bumpy, so it could be absolutely brutal as well. This will be a track that kind of test driver skill just as much as vehicle performance there. As trying to get down on the apron. Hopefully, we're going to immediately smash out the predicted goal, though. Yes, we will. But yeah, we're going to need quite a few practice laps here just to make sure that I get the car up to speed. I think we're actually better off using 3rd gear down through the corners, so we're going to try that out now. Hopefully, obviously, it will give us a bit more rotation through the front, and obviously give us the revs through the exit as well there. Oh, there you go. That's definitely what we want to be doing, as immediately finding a 19-second lap. I mean, it's a 50-lap feature, though, so it is going to be a brutal race when we get to it. And, of course, I don't know what fuel usage and tyre wear is going to be like either. So it's so easy just to try and hang if you've got the inside line there or against your rival, as we are slapping up against the walls, having quite a bit of a ragged start to practice. Normally, you'd kind of want to try and take it a little bit easier there, as full opposite lock on the exit of turn 2. But yeah, I mean, what I love is obviously this track is really difficult. And although NASCAR 25 seems to be fairly forgiving for the most part, you really do kind of get that experience around these venues inside the game. Wow, it's just every single time now, that apparently is my line out of turn 2. Obviously trying to basically counter-steer the car on the throttle. Well, less than 2/10 away from William Sawalich in practice, there is a real opportunity for us to try and fight towards the front today. I mean, yeah, so far he has dominated this championship. Has always been at least right up at the sharp end. But maybe if we can start upsetting him, maybe if we can start taking some victories away later on this season, we'll have to wait and see as to how we get on. We do have 2 laps though, obviously because this is a short track. But yeah, you basically want 3rd gear on the entry. Try and really pivot the back end round on that 3rd gear. And then obviously cycle it back up to 4th. You can really get aggressive though with the engine brake as well on the way into the corner, as long as you don't lock the rear axle. Otherwise, you are in for a very, very troubled time. But just trying to manage it off the exit of turn 2. I mean, you want to be right up to those walls, but it's kind of nice the way the track kind of banks in slightly quite early, and then you've got to try and get on with it there. As P4, my second lap was a bit sloppy, but we are right towards the sharp end, and that is fantastic news. Oh, we are really in the fight now. William Sawalich, though, will take pole just ahead of Brendan Queen. Tyler Rife there in 3rd, just ahead of myself and LeVar Scott. So clearly those upgrades now are working on this car. And maybe, just maybe, we can try and fight for the win today.
Let's go trackside now for the command to start this Arkham Menard Series race. Drivers, start your engines!
Well, I do like just the sheer variety of races you do inside NASCAR. And now we are ready then for a Friday night slugfest here at North Wilkesboro. Trying to manage the start as best as I can. So immediately running right up the racetrack there as well. Immediately banging doors with Lawless Allen, I believe that was, down through those first few turns. But immediately, though, as we often find on the starts, seemingly just going backwards a little bit here. But hopefully, now we kind of settle in. I mean, the AI, everybody. I mean, you basically, this is not a track where you're going to make friends. You're going to have to move people out of the way if you want to try and get past them. It's a bit like Bristol, but obviously there's just a lot more braking kind of into the corner. So I would argue there is probably a little bit more skill involved about really managing the tyres, really hustling the car around. There will also definitely be a pit stop in this race where it is longer than that Kansas event last time around. You know, this is a bit more of a marathon ARCA race. It is, like I said, I think the best way to describe it is going to be a bit of a slugfest here. Nice and early on as, yeah, a 50-lap feature. And already you can see the number 73 there of Andy trying to make some moves. Patrick Stanapoli, who, of course, we had a bit of a wheel-to-wheel battle with last time out as well. But only very shortly. We were kind of distracted, I believe it was, by Cletus McFarland rather than Patrick there. Is getting a big run down off of the final corner. To be to the inside there. We'll shuffle him up the racetrack. But the 15, of course, we'll have to give him some room on the exit. But I think, there we go. Yeah, we have made that position work. No, we haven't. He's still going to try and fight it back there. Is right the way around the outside off of turn 3. Make sure again that we give him the room. Luckily, of course, obviously you have got those lanes on the circuit. But normally I would expect this one to probably end up being quite a caution-filled race. But hopefully it's not going to be that way. Maybe the AI will try to be fairly sensible early on, as all we will chop off Lawless Allen down through turn 3. Like I said, you're not going to make friends in a race like this. You're only going to be able to make enemies. But if we can keep it fairly clean and tidy, I want to make sure that we have got a car that fights right towards the very end. There's still Lawless Allen on my inside, as we will try to really pinch him, but he's not having any of it. Lawless Allen down the inside through turn 3. Will he be able to get the run off of 4 again? You kind of want to be on the inside to make those moves normally. So we will try and use a little bit more of that camber on the outside there to give myself the run off of turn 2 there. And we're both actually closing back in on the 73 car as well here. Look how much steering lot you've got to run. As still side by side with Lawless Allen here, as I think Andy, it might be our key to try and get past Allen here. That's what I'm trying to see if he gets a little bit caught up. Oh, Andy! Oh, Trying to cover me off, and neither of us really wanted to give in that moment. Lawless Alan will claim the spot now for good, perhaps. And might be able to try and make some progress there as he's really able to hold the low line. But I mean, look at this already. Catching up to some slower cars there. So will they stay out of the way? Only time will tell there, as we might have to try and split down the middle. Down to the inside of that 73 car once again. But Lawless Alan is flying along early. And I mean, it does not take long before this feels like a real bull ring of an event as well. Only 38 cars out on the track today. So not as many as we saw at Kansas last week. But I think 38 is probably still far too many. And that's kind of what it makes it so great as well. I mean, you can hear the rear trying to lock up as well. Tyler Rife getting a little bit stuck behind some of these slower machines. And well, Lawless Alan, that line that he is able to use is really, really working here early on. As Ed Pumper just going to move him up the racetrack. I mean, especially with these guys that are, you know, already a lap down, 12 laps into this. I'm not too worried about making an enemy out of them. We are here to try and fight for the win. As you can still see how much I'm fighting the wheel. But yeah, I think this is going to be one of those races where it is just battles non-stop there, as Tyler Rife thought about it, but can't get back to the inside. Well, I tell you what though, Lawless Alan might not have had the speed in qualifying, but really does seem to have the race pace here, as he's moved his way past LeVar Scott. And I think, yeah, tyre management is going to be super important in this race, as you can still see Tyler Rife there trying... Oh, Tyler Rife, sorry, still trying to get a look back down the inside, but we are leaning on so many of these cars there. We're able to brake so much later than some of these other drivers as well, in a bid to obviously kind of use them all up on the exit of the corner. As I said, it's probably not a good way to make many friends, and maybe, you know, they'll race me more aggressively later on in the campaign, but kind of needs to be done at the moment there. As again, I mean, just every single lap, we are trying to basically steer the back end off the throttle pedal on the exits of corners there, trying to rotate it through and get the moves to happen, as Rita Goulet trying to stay, well, kind of out of the way, but I'm not sure they did a particularly good job, so we will use them all up on the exit. There is, of course, Brad Smith, and through those first couple of corners, but yeah, Sawallich's now down to P3, so he's really lost out early on in this battle, and I believe that therefore is Brendan Queen that has moved up into P1, as Ryan Roulette there, just up high, as I've accidentally left it in fourth gear. I mean, it's kind of that thing, isn't it, of it feels super disrespectful, you know, kind of running all these lap cars right up to the wall, everything like that, but you've kind of got to do it, because there just isn't much room to maneuver around this track, as I think everybody now is caught up in this gaggle there. I think Sawallich has just reclaimed the lead of this race. As I mean, some of these guys now, we're lapping for a second time in just 20 laps here, but there's going to be a real opportunity now then, as yeah, Sawallich back to the front, but he is right there. It's all down the inside of LeVar Scott. Will we make it happen? Not quite that time, as he will defend in that middle lane as best as he can there. Can we again have a look though back towards turn one? We seem confident on the brakes. I'm happy to run the car a little bit higher up the circuit than most others are willing to. And there we go, up into P4, as here is Lawless Alan just in front of me. I mean, I don't know when we need to pit in this race. Apparently we have got enough fuel to get to the end, so clearly on these short tracks, you don't really need to pit. But the big thing is going to be, of course, getting fresh tyres when those cautions come out. I mean, this is just impossible to track right now. What is going on? There are cars everywhere on this backstretch, and I must admit, I know I've said it before, but if I go to America, as much as I'd love to watch like a big super speedway race, but something at a little short track like this is incredible. Just all of these cars right up and underneath each other there as well. We're actually making a move on Brendan Queen. Lawless Alan back up into P2 then, so Brendan Queen a bit caught out in everything going on at this stage. I mean, if you're a Brendan Queen or a William Sawallich, you're just trying to pick up points for your championship. As we cross half distance in this race, clearly Queen has still got a fair amount of speed in that car, but just wrong place at the wrong time. Then, no! Come on, hold on to it, we'll use that guy again. No idea, again, how we held on to that, but clearly taking a lot out of my rivals, and, well, thank you to whoever that was that kept us pointing in the right direction. Like I said, we need to be trying to claim some victories off of William Sawallich as we head into the second half of the campaign if we want to try and fight for this ARCA Championship. But he just seems so quick at the moment that it is still going to be difficult to do so. I might make a video at the end of the week, kind of going through all of my current gameplay settings inside the game as well, just because you guys are giving me a lot of questions about it. But to the inside now of Lawless Alan, maybe we've been able to manage our tyres a little bit better than our rival. Up then into P2 we will go. William Sawalich, 1 second up the road. Oh, I thought that was a wreck then. I almost then caused one. Whoa, getting on the apron, that's not good. Straight in the wall, and I've wrecked myself. Hang on to it. Try and keep it pointing in the right direction. Will that be a caution? Yes, it will, and that was all on me. We need to pit. We've got huge damage on the car. We need to repair up. We'll take the 11 seconds. I will take tyres. I don't believe we need fuel, though.
Okay, we're pitting here.
Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. I think I'm going to be a lap down. I'm going to guess I'm going to be a lap down. No, we are still on the lead lap somehow. And luckily, we've been able to get everything all repaired up then. But a really stupid error from myself there. Just could not catch the wheel. As there we go. Get up through the gears once again. And let's go green flag racing. We've still got 17 laps to go of this race. And now with fresh tyres. I mean, look how much grip we've got down through turn 1. I think we're basically going to have to try and do the same as we did at Phoenix last week, aren't we? And try and fight our way back through. But around a short track like this, the tyre grip means even more of a difference. As we look at the drive, we're able to get off at turn 3 and turn 4. Oh, to the inside. Easy does it. Easy does it. As there is Andy there, you can see the rear of that car a bit torn up at this stage of the day. But surely that wreck isn't going to help me out here. Surely it's not going to give us the grip and the speed we need to actually move our way right to the front. I'm surprised the damage was so little on the car. We're already back up inside your top 10 for the inside of Staropoli, but there's just so much grip everywhere around this circuit then, as we can afford to get off the corner super early on the throttle. We just know we've got the grip. As look at Cole Raz down the middle trying to make it happen, and we will try and give him a little bit of a bump over the corner there. The 76 car wiggling around as he tries to get the power back down. But that has really not taken us long to get back to where we wanted to be in this race. Still fighting towards the front. Can we get to the inside of LeVar Scott? No, I can't. A little bit of a move to the rear bumper. But of course, yeah, it's not going to be long again before we're trying to lap some cars. So I want to try and get through as many of these guys as I can. Run LeVar Scott all the way at the racetrack. But we are through. Oh, here we go. Lawless Alan. Lawless Alan trying to go defensive. He does not want to let me back through again. And oh, there's definitely not the grip up the top of the racetrack through 3 and 4. But again, we've just got such a tyre advantage that we're able to try and go around the outside. And then we can launch it into turn 1 with the confidence that the car will stick. Tyler Reif there, nothing he can do. As we're just over 10 laps to go then, we are back up into your top 3. And William Sawalich, I mean, he's been able to withstand a lot of pressure, not only throughout tonight, but also throughout a lot of this season so far. There we go, new personal best as well late on in the day as Brendan Queen. He is defenseless to our attack, but suddenly now again, we are caught back up to everybody else in this race. So how will we fare here? Will William Sawalich potentially get a little bit stuck? It's all going to be down to how these cars kind of fall and get out the way. There's Sean Cole there up at the top of the track. He wants nothing to do with any of it. He's happy to just jump out the way there as well. Sawalich, I think, does get a little bit held up. I mean, we're not quite a halfway stage of the season just yet, but 3 wins for Sawalich, 1 win for us so far this campaign. And so far, until I think that was Alex there, tried to run me right down to the apron. I was going to say, I felt like we were getting quite lucky with some of these lapped cars here. William Sawalich, though, to the inside of Becca Monopoly. The 85 car, oh, again, just having to move them a little bit off the corner. I mean, you've got to be aggressive here, especially when you're in the fight for the win against the championship leader. We know we need big points tonight if we can try and do anything with it there. It's to the inside of William Sawalich. Oh, we just got a little bit cautious there about what that number 93 of Caleb Costner would do off the turn. And Sawalich now trying to go around the outside of everyone. Kyle Steckley, they're just, I thought was going to move up the racetrack as well. This is not where we need to be. Come on, Brayton Laster, the number 6. Oh, getting in the ways. Oh, I thought he was fully clear, but apparently not. And again, that's just given Sawalich a little bit of breathing room. We've still got Butterbean right up my trumpet as well. as 5 laps to go after this one. David Smith there, I mean, clearly you've seen all this going on in his mirror and wants nothing to do with it. So Wallich there will give him a bit of a shove, let him know that we are here, and he will get to the inside of the 19. I mean, this is exactly what short track racing should be. NASCAR 25 has done such a good job of kind of emulating it, but in a bit more of a fun and forgiving manner than maybe iRacing will do, and it isn't just, you know, 50 laps of cautions here at North Wilkesboro as well, but down in towards turn 3 and 4 again there. We've got, obviously, the number 48 car there of Brad Smith jumping out of the way. I mean, a lot of these guys are pretty good. They're kind of accepting that, you know, it's not their fight, it's not their battle at the moment, but still Sawallich very, very good at getting that car off of the corners, as of course our tyre advantage will start to fall off there. Can we get a run to the inside though with the 18 in towards turn 1? He's going to really pinch me on that apex and park it on my nose. We're going to dive accidentally below the apron there, kind of just the car bouncing around. That was not ideal, but 2 more laps to go. Are we going to have to try and move William Sawallich for the win? He has dominated this season so far for Joe Gibbs Racing. Again, he's very confident on the brakes in towards turn 1 there as the 67. Not too sure who that is. Oh, it's with 3 wide through turn 1 and turn 2. We split him. Oh, this is getting super aggressive here, but it's all going to come down to the wire as 1 more lap to go then. I think that's Timmy Hill. They're trying to move out of the way. A little bit of contact there with the pair of them, as I didn't think we were going to go right down the middle. We're going to use up all of Timmy Hill off of turn 2, but we get the run to the inside of William Sawallich to the lead for the first time all night. Will Sawallich be able to come back around the outside of us through the final corner? We will run him to the wall. It'll be P1. As short track racing goes, that was sensational. And making the move on the very last lap, NASCAR's returned to North Wilkesboro, and we have claimed it. Very, very happy with that one. A 10th in it, come the checkered flag. It really did come down to myself and William Sawallich right towards the end of the night there. Tyler Reif will claim P3 just ahead of Brendan Queen and Lawless Allen. As I mean, the gap between Sawallich and I was pretty much as close as the gap was in qualifying. That goes to show just how insane that one was. LeVar Scott down in 6th, just ahead of Kyle Keller. Stouter Bowley, Cole Raz, and Isabella Robusto getting yet another top 10 this season. But yeah, you can see only 18 cars there. Zachary Tinkle, the last one, remaining on the lead lap when all is said and done. As you can see, it was just Steve Lewis and Sean Corr that ended up 4 laps down. A tough race, a battle pack race, but we have come out on top. There we go then, another huge gain of reputation as we become the 2nd multi-time winner this season. 240 rep for lap speed and clean racing, obviously meeting some of our goals as well. I guess obviously all we really want to try and do is bag another pole to try and gain a little bit more there. But 1440 rep for the win, and we only led 1 lap all night. That, of course, being the very last one as well. So, clearly, obviously, taking the tyres was very much worth it, because I don't think we were going to quite be in the fight for the win here tonight. Matt Beard earns victory at North Wilkesboro. North Wilkesboro never disappoints when the ARCA Series hits the track. The big win for the 94 car. Still was 6th, apparently, in the standings. Jordan Bianchi, lots of opportunities coming up in the lower racing series. Newer drivers like Matt Beard are doing a great job of building up their team and becoming more attractive to sponsors. And apparently, Brayton Laster, it's slightly concerning. I don't even remember what wreck he's talking about. But apparently that hit by Matt Beard was gross. Quit crying, man. Get back on the track. Try and start winning some races, I think. There we go then, having a look back at the base, of course. $26,000 in our back pocket. Exactly what we needed here. And, of course, I mean, the car's going to be destroyed, isn't it? Oh, a lot of damage done. I mean, that is a night of short track racing summed up there, isn't it? A huge amount of performance knocked out of the car. Where does that leave us, though, in the championship standings? We are up, yeah, still obviously in P6 there, but only 2 points back behind Tyler Reif there. Jan Kowak and Isabella Robusto still just in 3rd with Brendan Queen there. And Sawallich still, I mean, he's got, what, a 55-point margin over us? We can definitely start closing that down over the next few races. Thank you all so much for watching, though. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed. We're going to be returning, though, to the home of NASCAR out at Charlotte Motor Speedway next time out for the General Tyre 150. A big purse available for that event. So hopefully we can try and chalk up another win.